Going live. Everybody's out doing their own thing, or they're on more important feeds than mine. But I figured I would do a review on the Truckn Pro owner-operator fog line software. Hey, what's up? If you're in here, say something. Hey, Kevin and Allie. Hey, Kevin, what's up, man? Pale Rider, hey, do you see the wrench, Mr. Pale Rider? I figured it out. Hey, Harold. Hey, Juan. Love this software. Yep. I'll be honest with you, man. Hey, Gear Grabber. It's almost like you're using the software, man. It's almost like you're trying to always play catch up when you're already behind, I guess, if that makes any sense. Hey, Anthony. Hey, Sherman. What's up? Billy, what's up, man? Billy, everybody go to Big Billy's channel. He did a video about the Truckn Pro software and how he had to do a whole quarter. It's a good video. He needs more subs. So, yeah, I'm clean. I'm at the house. I'm drinking my Iron Maiden drink. Check it out. You ain't supposed to be home. Us Snyder ICs are supposed to go broke to go home. Yeah. Well, I'll show you my numbers here in a second. Yeah, I'm going to open that can of worms. Now, these numbers aren't, the most impressive. I'm sure there's a lot of people, especially ICs, that are making more money than me. But I think you guys will find the net somewhat interesting. And also, I took a lot of time off this July because my wife had vacation. My sister was in from Arizona. So this really isn't a typical month, but I thought I'd do a 30-day review. I got this at the beginning of July. And because I took time off right at the beginning of July, it was easy to just start from that point. So all my fuel, the bills, all the expenses, truck payment, IFTA's in there. It's all in there. All right, Juan, enjoy your dinner. Thanks for stopping in. Yep. So, no, I got lucky. I was supposed to pick up a load that didn't pick up till Friday, today. And I called the shipper since I developed a relationship with them. And those are my kids in the background. And and I called him up. He said, yeah, you can pick it up today. It was a drop and hook. So I went ahead and picked it up. And I'll leave out with this Sunday. It goes to Indianapolis. So, anyways, let's show this real deal here. Okay. Alright, so hopefully this will come out okay. I'm not the best at this program, so bear with me. So revenue. This is the load I just did yesterday. And of course you type in, I type in the load number. Harold, they never told me that I can't call a shipper. They just, they don't want you, well, I guess I did break the rule, I guess. But I know that there's nothing in the remarks that I can't deliver or unload early. So I figure I just take that as it comes. There's the, I don't put all the information here. I got my truck number, trailer. Anyways, and then the profit and loss on this particular load was, it was, the paid miles was 208, pay per all miles is $1.44. But I got fuel on this load too, see? Yeah. But see, that's that load. That was a short, couple 100-mile load. Let's see. Okay, so here's one of the best features. Okay, so you click on reports. Okay, and FYI, this is what I'm doing right now. You probably guys can't probably see it, so I'll read it to you. Since the beginning of July, I've ran a total of 7,274 miles. Loaded was 5,901. Empty was 1,373. And my average deadhead was 106. And my average load was 454. And that will reflect in the fuel. Usually it's a little bit lower than that. Right now, I'm looking at $1.20 for all miles, which is a little bit lower than what I was doing last year. Let's see. Pay per loaded mile was $1.48. This is all averages. I had $3,131 in expenses. That is truck payment, fuel, IFTA, tolls, insurances, and everything. So I know that some of the SFI guys have like almost that in a week or 2 week period. Hey Johnny. Total expenses was fuel was $2,800. So my total profit was $2,712. Like I said, it's not the most impressive thing, you know. So, but this is the details that you get with this program. Now Jeffrey Like's done videos on this program, which are really helpful. And then if you buy this program, there's videos that he puts out. So that's the cool part. You go to expenses. There's my expense list right there. That's everything that I've entered. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. I'm trying to remember how to get to this one. Oh, FYI, yeah. Let's go to reports again. FYI, yeah, I've already done that. There was one where profit and loss all. Here we go. Let's do a start date of, we'll say July 1st, and then the end date today, the 4th. My truck. All right. So we click on this profit and loss report all, and there you go. This breaks it down of what your cost per mile was. Like fuel was 38 cents a mile. Reefer fuel was 0 because I don't have a reefer. Def was a penny a mile. Let's see, what was one of the other bigger ones? The other big one is truck payment, 21 cents a mile. All my insurances are no higher than 2 cents a mile. And there you go. So right now, my average rate per mile is $1.20. That's all miles. So my expense per mile is 83 cents a mile. Now I know with the Peterbilt, it was about $1.06 a mile. So let me switch this around here. My Peterbilt was $1.06 per mile. If you guys remember, I did a video about how much money that thing was taking, and I was paying more money than the Schneider Finance guys. But yet my truck wasn't new. It was having some issues. So my review of this program so far is that I like it. It gives me detail. You know, I was telling Jeff this one day, that if I had been tracking these numbers from the very beginning of when I first went to Landstar, I could have made adjustments where I needed to. Because you can listen to Jeff, you can listen to Coach, you can listen to all these people giving you advice, but the bottom line is this. It's all about numbers. Big businesses, small businesses, it's all about numbers. You got to make the numbers work for you. You have to make adjustments. You have to be flexible. When rates started getting bad there at Landstar, I started to take lighter loads. And I was more selective of where I went. I no longer what they call chase the money. That's when you take a high-paying load to a dead-end area just to get that money on the check. But this program is awesome. It gets everything down to the very last cent. And I guarantee that a lot of these people that give advice out here don't know these numbers. They might have a rough idea. Now, I'm not perfect. You know, I just now started doing these numbers. Now, before, what I was doing was writing everything down, and I would take the gross and net and figure out what my average pay per mile was, what my monthly income was. You know, so a lot of the things you see here, but here I've actually wrote down my insurances and everything, and registration, scale tickets, tolls. You know, whereas before I was just kind of doing the net and gross. That's all I was concerned about. But that can give you false numbers. Hey, Stretch, what's up? Yeah, Harold. They never really beat us into that. You know, I think what they're afraid of is the places that we're not allowed to deliver early. They don't want us harassing them. But I think that the shippers that they really don't want us calling are the ones that they don't list the number. So I very rarely do that. This customer I do because, number one, I live here and that's where the customer is. And that's a good question, Pill Rider. I'll get to that in a second. Look at Pill Rider helping me out. He knows what it costs. And that's another good point, Billy. I didn't want it to seem like I was promoting the program. I just wanted to do an honest review. But anyways, the customer, he told me, he goes, you know, because he's not very happy with the company right now, because they have guys showing up 2 days late for loads or showing up when there's no loads. You know, there's a communication issue there. So he gave me his number and said, anytime that you're picking up a load here, call me and we'll see if it's ready. More likely it is, and it was. So I didn't have to pick it up today. I picked it up yesterday, so that gives me more time in the house without having to move the truck around. Pale Rider's question. This costed $149. I got $10 off by using Jeffrey Likes code. He was also running a special for the 4th of July. And you can find it at foglinesoftware.com. How's the cat? The cat is good. It was wearing a collar for a couple of days because it had this gnarly scab on the side of his face. And he's very grateful that the collar is off. Now, I could hold him up to you and put voices in him and stuff, but that's already been done. So, but cat's doing good. Thank you for asking, Russ. But yeah, foglinesoftware.com is where you can find it. What it is this guy that was at Landstar. And you name it, this program's got everything. You could run a fleet with this thing. You can run a one-truck operation. Supposedly he's coming out with a more condensed version that is good for like lease operators, because there's a lot of features I don't have to use on here. But if you're running like your own authority, or if you're running like, say, a Travel Loco spot market stuff, You can keep track of brokers and the phone numbers, and it's basically like a big filing cabinet right in your computer. And that price is a one-time fee. Would you recommend using this as a company driver to get the hang of it before coming over? Yes, Mike, I would. I would try to get to know it. Now, as a company guy, you're not gonna use it much, because you're getting cents per mile, and that's the other thing. If you're getting a fixed rate per mile, it's still handy to keep track of everything. But the amount of information you put in is going to be a little bit less. Landstar, I'd be putting a lot more information in. Perfect for that. It's taken me a minute to get used to it. It's taken me a minute to learn it. It's like a very, I don't know, I don't want to use the word complicated, but it's a very complex spreadsheet. But it's more than that. I mean, it's got a digital filing cabinet. You can keep track of all your customers, of all your, of everything. Brokers, agents, factoring companies, any of it. Let's see if I can. It tells you your fuel mileage. You guys want to see my fuel mileage? Let's see. My MPG. Click on that. This surprised me. Okay, so the last time I entered information in this computer, I was making 8.6 miles to gallon. Let me flip this around, guys. Okay, so this is what happens when you bring up your fuel mileage. And right now I'm at 1,047 gallons at 25, 30, 82. Average price is $2.41. And right now I'm only getting 6.8. And that's because for most of the month I've been doing heavy loads. And I also picked up some bad fuel. I was always told that, once you find your favorite fuel stops, always use them, because that way there's less chance of getting bad fuel. But that theory just went out the door, because I was at the Flying J here in Springfield, Missouri, and I believe on the 29th I got some bad fuel because my check engine light came on. And after that, my APU started running really rough. And I was describing the symptoms, hey John, to Jeffrey there, because he's got a carrier also. And he's like, yeah, your fuel filter is clogged up probably. So, some bad fuel there at the Flying J in Springfield, which kind of sucks, because it's easy to fuel there for me. Per diem, Russ asked about. Per diem is, I just take the standard deduction. You get... Oh, okay, I know what you're saying. Yes, you can keep track of your logs. You can keep tracks of the days that you're on. What I do is I download my logs, hey Rich, from Omnitracks. And then I put them in a folder for each month. But in a handwritten book, I write down half D or O, okay? And what that is you only get a certain amount of per diem if you go home. If you go home, like let's say you go home on Friday and you go off duty, that is considered a half a day. But if you leave out Sunday, that's a half a day. But then if you're on the road Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, those are full days. So I have a calendar, like a planner. I think I've said something about the planner before in one of my videos. And what I do is I keep track of the amount of days that I worked, that I was fully on the road, and ones that I was off, and then the ones that are half. Because at the end of the year, they're going to ask you, how many half days did you have? How many full days did you have? How many off days did you have? And that determines your per diem. So, storage, yeah, Pale Rider, that's what Rich likes to call me. So, and as you guys can see, I figured out the moderator thing. I only made a few moderators. I think I made Pale Rider, Gear Grabber, Jeffrey Like, and Christian Trucker. I think I made them moderators. There's a few others I would add, but I don't know if they even watch my videos. I know that I'm a moderator on Ike's channel, but I don't know if he really watches my stuff, so I didn't make him a moderator yet. But if he does, I'll make him a moderator. I don't think Gear Grabber's... Oh, yeah, he's in here. Yeah, Gear Grabber. I was talking to them. They were both hanging out last night. We thought some drama was going to go down on YouTube, but I've put everything under the water. It's a no event to me. The only thing I'll address on the drama stuff is that it was insinuated that I did it for hits. I did it for views. And the only thing I'll say is that I did the live video. I didn't put anything in the title. I didn't put any names in the description, and I made the video private the next day. So you can't even access it right now. Not that I know of. So that's all I'll say about that. I didn't do it for views. I just wanted a message put out there. And evidently, from what I've watched, it is what it is. And that's all I'm going to say. So, we've only got 2 people left in here. See, no one likes drama, and I don't want to be a part of that. So, anyways, that's it for this video. I'm going to make this short. It's not going to be like that one Saturday night where it was on for an hour and 45 minutes. I'm not going to be that. Try not to do that anyways. So, but if you guys, here's the thing with numbers. Hey, Daniel. Hanging Tough Homes. Mike, I thought you were good with that video the other day. Well, thank you, Mike. Russ says, I started watching Christian Trucker, good channel. Yes. And he just did his numbers too. He did everything on a dry erase board. And I told him that was an awesome idea. He had the idea. And I told him it was an awesome idea because here's the thing. Okay, Fabian, I'll go a little bit longer. Here's the thing. If you are thinking about the Snyder IC program through Snyder Finance, okay, he is putting up his numbers, and so you can see what he's doing. See all these people talking about their company. You can say how much you're making all day long, but you want to show the numbers, and I think that in an indirect way, that's how you recruit. You tell people, hey, this is what I make, this is what I do. Hey, look, Jeffrey, look what's next to your name there, sir. I figured it out. I can't do it from my phone, but I could do it from the laptop. Hey, Kevin. Godfather's in the house, yes. Russ, yeah, Russ is another IC that's got. He had a Snyder Finance truck and then got his own. But Steve Berger and Christian Trucker both were the sole breadwinners of their families, or are, not were, but are, and they're making it. Steve made it work with the Snyder Finance truck, and Christian Trucker continues to make it work. Not a trucker, but really enjoy your channel, Rick. Thanks, Rick. Or are you talking to somebody else? Or your name's Rick. Daniel, not much in Des Moines, heading to Houston. Houston. Russ has made some good periscopes. He did a good one on organization. And that's the other thing you want to see. What you want to watch out here is it's interesting to see how people organize everything. The first year as owner operator, I started with ATBS, and I was literally that guy that took all the receipts and threw them in a box. I was that guy, and I was ashamed of it. Second year, I organized them. I stacked them. Third year, I'm doing everything digitally. beginning of January, I'm going to call ATBS and say, I'm done, and no longer get the monthly fee of whatever they were doing, because the profit and loss statements can all be done right here. You just have to just do it. Russ says I copied you. Well, yeah, Russ, that's what YouTubers do, man. We copy each other. To be honest with you, Big Billy just did a video on Truckn Pro, and then Jeffrey did one like 2 years ago. Orion, hey, what's up, man? Much love, brother. Drop it in to catch some knowledge. Thanks. About time, Snorlord. Yep. And and Jeffrey's a big part of this change, because as he said in one of his videos, he wants to take me to the next level. And Schneider has enabled me to make the money without having to think about some of the other stuff like booking loads and everything. But I think now I got some of this stuff down. I think I'm ready to go start booking my own loads again, as far as like the spot market. Showbox paperwork gone wild. Alaskan Cowboy. What's going on, everyone? Hope you all doing good. Hey, Alaskan. Jeffrey, I sent you a message on Facebook. I honestly forgot what I was going to ask you. Just a heads up. Haha. Fabian's doing good. All right. But you don't need a company to do a P&L statement with this program. Now, to catch up all the info is it's been a little bit of a challenge to learn the program, and when I was writing everything down, I was writing down the wrong things in my journal, I guess you could say. Where I write down the loads. I did that video where I write down the load number, pickup number, and all that stuff. And now on those papers, I write down odometer. I wasn't writing deadhead odometer down. And this thing, you put in deadhead odometer, then you can keep track of your deadhead miles, that kind of thing. So I started doing that. Now I'm writing down actual miles of everything. I'm writing down when I bought fuel, how much fuel I bought. And then you can upload the actual receipts directly to the app. Here, I'll show you guys. So let's go to close. Let's go to fuel. Actually, let's go to revenue. So let's find the load that I did that I knew I bought fuel. It's probably this one. So you look at documents. Fuel. Let's look at fuel. There's my fuel stop. Oh, that's not it. Close. See, I'm still learning this program, guys. There's a. Okay, there's no documents on this load. That's why. Well, maybe there is. No, there is. I've already delivered this. Show all records. There we go. Jeff's like, click on that. Click on this. Well, that's not it either. Hey, Jeffrey, how do I get to where you see the documents? There's your trip report. But yeah, you can see the PDFs. Let's see. Where is it? Okay, we'll just go to load documents. That's it. There you go. There's the, there's the documents. Like there's the cover sheet, and then there's where I delivered. Probably shouldn't be showing this because of customers, but and then your fuel receipts can go in there too. So since I bought fuel on this load, I spent $337. I just filled it up. So total of 141 gallons, $2.38 a gallon. And so that's why the numbers on this load aren't that impressive, because I bought a full tank of fuel on a $500 load, $550 load. So anyways, so we got trip info, and then we close this out. But yeah, you've got revenue. There, let's shipper, receiver, brokers, clients. That's where you keep track of everything. Expenses, fuel edit. That's where I could just go to where I could just edit the fuel. Truck stops, vendors, calendar, calculator, trucks, trailers. You can do multiple trucks. So I know somebody in this feed that probably is bringing on multiple trucks. So this would be a good program for that person. Russ asks, can you scan your documents with your phone or scanner? You can do both. I did buy a portable scanner, but I've used it one time. I downloaded an app called, here, I'll switch this around. I downloaded an app called Tiny Scanner, and I paid, after about 30 days, I paid for the $5 version. And what it does is it allows me to scan, and then what I do is I email it to myself, and I created a separate email account just for the paperwork. And it's one of those free accounts, and that way it's basically in a cloud. Then at the end of the month, I set an alarm on my phone. At the end of the month, what I'll do is I'll download all those PDFs and then put them on the computer, and then I do them accordingly. Now, what I do, Russ, is the other thing I do is I put them on the phone, and I hook up my phone to the laptop, and I can get the PDFs that way. I did that today. So yes, you don't need the bulky scanner thing anymore. How do you switch from rear to front camera when recording video, not live? I get irritated trying to figure out, so I went and bought a GoPro. There's a little button on the corner right here, right there. But yeah, you can do both, Russ. You can use a phone or a scanner. Jeffrey says he's going to GATS. I will be there too. Pale Rider says, hit the like button. Russ asked me, didn't you use profit gauges? I use that for fuel. And what that did is, yes, the PDF does go in the Truckn Pro. You just click on it, it goes right in there. What you just saw was a PDF. Yeah, so yeah, it's... Dude, this program's awesome, man. It's awesome. Jeffrey Lex says that's why I've been using this program for years. Yeah, and when I first met Jeffrey, we were at the Fort Wayne Pilot. And, sorry, my back scratched there. And, he showed me that program. And it was amazing, You have it, but use profit gauges. Yeah, it takes a minute to kind of get used to this. But there's a per diem button on here. There's reminders, phone book, find loads, APU. One of the things about APUs that most people don't know is that when you do your taxes, you want to give the hours of how many hours your APU ran that year. Because the net fuel is counted, but not towards how, they explained it to me. Jeff could probably explain it a little bit better. But it's like a separate extra write-off. Yeah, Russ, I can't imagine getting behind on this. I know Billy did a video that said it took him hours just to catch up the quarter. And that's why I thought about going back and doing everything, but if I wanted an accurate number of fuel, because it won't just let you add fuel without fuel stops and all that stuff. So I thought about going back to all my settlements and entering everything, but it wouldn't give me an accurate number. So I thought, well, I'll just start from here, and then come January 1st, that's when I'm done with ATBS, and then I'll have a true number starting from January 1st. I wish I would have done this 6 months ago. Actually, I wish I would have done this 3 years ago. Gear Grabber says there'll be a GATS. Peel Rider TV. You shake off all the smell from that paper mill yet? Enjoy home time. Fabian, if you have an iPhone, you cannot record as easily as the battery exploding. Samsung. I hate the paper mill smell. Yep. Here's a little unknown fact. Every now and then you'll see a tanker go and do a paper mill, and they're collecting liquid. And that liquid's used for a lot of pet feed. Just a FYI. ATBS is the devil. I have a Note 5. It won't let me switch from front to rear while recording. No, it won't while I'm recording, but while a live feed, it will. Yeah, while I'm recording, it won't. It has to be a separate video. That's like when I do my cooking videos. That's actually 4 videos I've strung together with the GoPro app. But live, I can do it. You know, beats me. Orion says ATBS is the devil. You know, my only complaint with ATBS is this year it's taken them forever. This is the most organized I've been for them, and they're taking forever to get my taxes done. Yep, it's August and my taxes aren't done yet. Okay? That's number one. Number two, their profit and loss statements are junk. Probably because I'm not giving them all the information, and I don't pay quarterly because their estimates are way off because I have a second income in this house. I have kids. You can hear them in the background watching Simpsons. And so my taxes are different because there's other things going on. Everybody's tax situation is different. It takes less than an hour to do 6 months worth if you use it a lot. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm learning. And then by writing everything down correctly, that helps a lot. Once you get control of your numbers, then you do your own taxes. Yep, that's true. That's the goal, I guess. The Galaxy 7 won't switch either, or the 8 if you're live. Unless you're live, yeah. Whoa, pet feed? Yep. There's a lot of... Oh, there's a food additive in like... I almost said diet bread, but it's actually wood pulp. Trying to remember the name of the additive. It'll come to me. Here, we'll ask Google. We'll get on my tablet and ask Google.
He's writing the doc.
What kind of additive is made out of wood pulp? Cellulose, that's what it is. It's added to a lot of bread, and it's added to grated cheese. And it's also added to a lot of pet food. What's Homer up to? I don't know, is it FXX or FXX or FF? One of the stupid channels has like a Simpsons marathon every night.
What?
The channel you guys are watching. FXX, right? Okay. No wonder my dog chews up the newspaper. Exactly. I'm still riding my free trial period with them, but they're about to get fired. Oh, the ATBS? That's the other thing. Letting the dog in here. That software, Truckn Pro, you get a 15-day trial, which to me isn't long enough to kind of get to know it. But I'm kind of an idiot, so. But after 15 days, you can buy it, and you get the full version. The trial's the full version. Jeffrey says my taxes takes less than 10 minutes. That's because you've been doing it for 50 years. Cellulose. Yep, Kevin's got it. Google what does Snorler do on Friday night? Drinking from my Iron Maiden mug. You guys in Periscope see me drink out of this all the time. It's not coffee though. Bread, cheeses, lots of stuff. Yep. Joe Thompson. Dope. Fabian's laughing at me. A Night with Snorlord and The Simpsons. Taxes. Tell your kid he looks high. Alaskan Cowboy Trucker. I am not hungry anymore for bread or cheese. Just look on the ingredients. Not all bread has it. Usually it's the diet bread, I guess you could say, like the $4 a loaf, crappy frou stuff as I call it, and then the cheap stuff. You want to get the mid grade stuff. Kevin, I so wish I had caught the 4th of July sales he had on the Truckn Pro. Yep. Oh, Jeff says he's working on a logo. So yeah. Hey Jeff, can I reveal this information? Walmart brand Parmesan cheese, it's loaded with it. Yeah. Yep. There's a lot of additives in our food, and to be honest with you guys, it's something that I'm going to start addressing is trucker health. We're we're all worried about numbers and how to run a trucking business and all that, but no one's taking care of themselves. So I mean, a lot of people aren't. A lot of people aren't. Okay, Jeffrey. So I talked to Jeffrey today, and he wants to make T-shirts for GATS of Like Trucking. Mm-hmm. I told him he'd get me a logo. I can make it happen. So that's Like Trucking hat or shirts are in the works. Hats, that's a different story. Those are expensive. I'll be passing by you tomorrow. Would love to meet up with you and have a conversation. Delivering the Wentzville. I'll buy lunch. Yeah. Can you get a hold of me on Facebook? Find me on Facebook and then go from there. Not sure what's going on tomorrow. Orion says trucking health is a huge subject, brother. Yes, it is, and it's something I need to start addressing because I had one of my subscribers call me the other day, and he had a very touching story about his own struggles, and he's lost 100 pounds. So, yeah, it was a good conversation. It was something that he liked the fact that I was doing my cooking videos because we were, it was addressing how I wanted to lose weight. Rizzo asked, is Snyder Freight a lot better this summer versus last? That's kind of hard to say. Had I been using this program last year, I could tell you exactly what the numbers are. What I'm finding is that my average rate per mile is down. So I guess the loads are paying less, but I'm taking home more. So there's more of the higher paying shorter loads, but the normal loads that I've been doing have decreased on the revenue, but I'm taking home more because I'm getting better fuel mileage and my truck expenses are way down. So Big Rich says he's down to 10 pounds. Fabian, it's Stephen Allington. Just look for my ugly mug on the profile picture. Oh yeah, we're back. I had a phone call. Hey, Ed.
Yeah.
Call Mom.
Okay.
Call Grandma.
Grandma?
Yeah.
Okay.
She just tried to call me. Tell her I'm on YouTube. But if she wants to come over, tell her it's fine.
Okay.
Sorry about that, guys. But Rizzo, back to your question. So it's not really better, Rizzo. It's about the same, if not just a hair less pain. But there's a lot more freight in my area, so I'm not having to run as long as I did before. I'm home a little bit more. So, Alaskan Cowboy says, I'm with you on the health, brother, for sure. Yeah, and and that might be my new focus. Once I get this owner-operator stuff down, I might be more journaling, that kind of stuff.
Called me while I was calling her. Hi, I was actually just about to call you.
You're welcome, Fabian. Kevin Ollie, dope. Stream off. No, I'm here, guys.
Yes.
Research water fasting. Okay, Orion, let me address that, okay? Out there in the internet, there's a video called...
Alright. Yeah, that says that it's fine if you come over right now.
Called Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead.
Love you.
Okay?
Bye.
What it is this Australian guy comes to America and he goes on a juice fast. Now, I'm not talking V8, I'm talking like fresh, squeezed juice. Okay? And he loses 100 pounds, but he kind of chronicles his journey. And in the movie, a documentary, he friends a truck driver, a guy from Knight. And this is a big dude, man. I'm talking like 400 plus. He could barely get out of the truck. It shows him doing his landing gear, and it's all he could do to undo his landing gear, And by the end of the movie, they both go on a juice fast. He kind of takes him out of the element. And I would have been more interested in seeing how they dealt with that as a truck driver, but, All right, I'm back. Anyways, Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. At the end of the movie, the guy's jogging, okay? This dude loses, like, a lot of weight. So I went and did that. I went and lost 60 pounds doing a juice fast. And it was hard and easy at the same time. You know, it felt like I was detoxing from drugs. You know, it's like, and you kind of are if you look at all the additives in our food and everything, because you're going without sugar, you're going without, you know, all the chemicals, you're going without meat. You know, but it's like what they call free basing Mother Nature. And you should have seen my truck. At the time I was driving a 660, I had vegetables everywhere. I mean, I had a laundry basket full of vegetables and washing them and everything. And it was tough, man. I did a 60-day fast and I lost about 60 pounds. I felt better. I thought better. My skin and hair got better. I was remembering things from years and years ago. It's almost like this fog was lifted. And a friend of mine who's visiting America from New Zealand, he says that when he eats American food, it feels like he's got the flu. So America has a lot of additives in our food that are just, they're killing us, you know. And truck drivers, we are prone to that because we're living in the convenience store world. So the movie's really good, and I like to go back to doing that. But Orion, I have researched water fasting, and I'm not that brave yet. I might try it, but I need to do something. I feel it has to be extreme. I know that Steven talked to me about the operations that you can get, and I was researching the balloon one. It's named, the name of the movie, BNGN, is Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. It's on Netflix, for those of you who have Netflix. Anyways, it's just, the balloon thing, that's what I was talking about. I lost my train of thought, amen to the lifted fog, yeah, all right, and it was, yeah. I did my part to keep healthy. I sponsor your Lunchbox Cooking Show. Thanks, Jeffrey. But yeah, it's a good movie. Lost my train of thought. What was I talking about, guys? Becoming my own. Alaskan Trucker says, I'm down 20 pounds since October just by cutting out fried foods, walking around my truck, parking away from the building rather than up close and watching portion control. Yeah, I've been losing a little bit steady on that kind of stuff. You know, I once watched a bunch of trucks gather as close as they could to this building when there was plenty of parking. Lunchbox cooking is awesome, says Fabian. Mr. Like, you should do more cooking stuff. Now, I've gained... Oh, the surgery. Thank you, Alaskan. They have this balloon that they can put in your stomach that keeps you full, pretty much. It's non-invasive. They don't have to cut you open, and it's pretty much the safest out of all the bariatric type things. And so I was watching some journals, video journals on YouTube, and there were people that were having to remove it early because it get lodged in the wrong area and they weren't absorbing any food. You know, I guess that's a good way to lose weight, right? One of the other times that I lost a lot of weight is when I had throat surgery. See you, Russ. One time I stopped drinking beer for a week and lost 2 pounds. Yeah, Rizzo. That beer will kill you. Speaking of which, let's have some drinks. Kevin says, I had gastric bypass. Full roux in the year 13 years ago. Lost 200 pounds and it's been great. What kind of bypass did you get? Like the lap band or stomach stapling? I'd be curious to talk to you about that. The Snorlord and Godfather Cooking Show. Who would watch it? Says Jeffrey Light. Pale Rider says he needs a sponsor. Jeffrey Light. I talked to Pale Rider today. We had a good conversation today. I go to Pale Rider for all my YouTube questions. Fabian said he would. The full deal toll bypass. Oh, wow, okay. That's cool. Oh, okay, I will PM you my digits. All right, cool. Let's go to the cooking thing. So there was a time in our Periscope group, and I call it our Periscope group because there was just a whole group of us that we all watched each other's stuff. It included Pale Rider, Tex, Ponzi, Jeffrey Like, a couple other Snyder guys that I never see on YouTube. And we had a ball. It was awesome. And there was one night, and this is back when Ponzi was still driving for Landstar, and he had the best periscopes. Because once Tex and I learned about the periscope, we were like, this is Ponzi style, because he does these 30-second videos. He did an 18-second video showing his baby chicks today. I thought Periscope's your perfect platform for him. And so there's a lot of hilarity ensued. There's an infamous video on Dooner's channel of Dooner playing guitar and Ponzi playing harmonica and then singing just off the cuff, man. And it's awesome. It's about rookies. And anyways, Ponzi and Jeffrey did a cook-off. And Ponzi took it so seriously that he took everything out of the truck and put it all on the driveway because he was at a shipper where he could park. And so he had no trucks, no crowd to worry about, any of that stuff. Hey, Lefty. And it was one of the best cook-offs I've ever seen. Because, Jeffrey had his thing. I forget what Jeffrey made. But, and that's the other thing. Ponzi made enough money to feed like a family of 5 with this meal. And it was freaking awesome. It was hilarious. And it was classic Ponzi zombie killer right there. Yep. It was, those were the good days of Periscope. Now I'm barely on Periscope and it kind of sucks. Alaska Cowboy, my sister had the full bypass and has been doing great. In fact, her old jeans, if there were 2 of her now, she could fit both of her in the pants. I know, I've seen the results, man, but the full bypass, man, that's a lot of downtime, I would think. I know a lot of insurances are paying for that stuff now, and I'm not quite to like the whole, bedridden level, he made steak shrimp salad, yes. And Ponzi also had this recipe. We'd go to Walmart and he'd buy potato salad, okay? And then he would add the fresh broccoli that you can buy in the bag at Walmart. He'd add that, and he would add cheese. And he'd stir that up, and that was good, man. I tried that recipe. That was actually pretty good. And candlelight, yeah, he had a bunch of candles lit out there, man. It was awesome. But yeah, Jeffrey, he did pretty good, man. But Ponzi told Jeffrey, correct me if I'm wrong, Jeff, but then Ponzi said that you won because you actually cooked inside the truck, because he took everything outside, And if any of you ever saw Ponzi's, the inside of his truck, man, he had a lot of stuff in there, because Landstar, you got to live in your truck, seems like. You can't do the short regional stuff. At least I couldn't, like I do here. So, but yeah, he had everything. He had a pretty cool portable fridge that I tried like hell to get him to sell me, but he wouldn't. So, yeah, I talked to my sister about me doing it, and she said even as a company driver, lose money due to downtime. Yeah. I wonder how much downtime you go through. Oh, you gave him the victory. Yeah, it was kind of a tie because they both said each other won. The bottom line is the rest of us were sitting there watching, impressed and hungry. Jeffrey snuck food from the buffet into the truck. Rizzo jumping on Jeff there a little bit. Joe asked Jeffrey, did you and Gear Grabber get barbecue from Uber Eats last night? I'm liking your cooking videos. Makes me hungry, but they're awesome. Yeah, I need to start doing some of those recipes, that book I got. But I am going to start getting more creative. A lot of the meals that I've shown, with the exception of the McDonald's meal, is kind of stuff I've already been doing, like back when I did it before. See, I went through this period with the Peterbilt where I didn't cook in the truck after the fire. I didn't cook in the truck because I didn't want anything in that truck that drew power. You know, I had my CPAP machine. That was it. All the inverters were gone. And the APU didn't work anyway. So, you know, with the carrier APU, I can have the skillet. You can't really run a skillet with the Thermo King unless you got a 2500 watt inverter. And even then, it's going to draw too much power. After home time, Guido was going to do another video. I got props in the house I'm going to get. Everybody go to Kevin and Ollie's channel. He's got some good cooking videos. He did one where he was a mafia guy, just like the Godfather. I bought Gear Grabber dinner at the Denny's. Oh, man, I thought you and Gear Grabber were friends there, Jeffrey. Buying them Denny's. Oh, yeah, Pale Rider says, remember Ponzi's sleeper birth videos? Yeah, so every night about 10 or 11 o'clock, you get this Periscope alert, and it was Ponzi. And he was basically laying in bed with a very dim sleeper light, and he would have these just random thoughts before he went to bed. And it was called Ponzi Sleeper Birth Time. I think he has some of those on YouTube too, doesn't he? What caused my fire? My inverter was installed incorrectly by the APU Center there in Stratford, Missouri. Didn't know it. They don't wrap the wires. They don't wrap anything. They don't secure anything, hardly at all. And what had happened is those wires had rubbed raw and arced on the frame. And when I started the truck up, when my inverter was beeping, saying it was drawing power, I didn't realize what was going on. I started up the truck, boom. I go outside and I had flames this high coming off the back of the truck. Luckily, the guy next to me just handed me his fire extinguisher, and I got it out before it caused any major damage. Do not ever go to APU Center in Stratford, Missouri for anything. Nothing. Every single person that's got an APU there has either been screwed, or it's cost them money, or it's had life-threatening installs. And I'm not kidding, guys. Fabian says avoid Omaha Thermo King at all costs too. But yeah, so I took everything out. Didn't have a TV, didn't have anything. And then when I finally got the APU fixed, it worked well for a while, but I still just used it for power and AC, and that's it. Snorlord 404 Trucker says buy effing trailer, man. Well, I need to. There was one I was looking at, but it's gone. But, you know, I knew that new trailer video was kind of clickbaitish when I put it up there. So, but what could be in the works if Steve's looking at trailers? I did, and it's amazing how people don't watch that, because there's a Facebook page called Owner Operators Maintenance and Repair, and it's a very useful page. And a Landstar buddy of mine, he had bad luck with APU Center. He took his APU apart and showed everybody exactly what they did wrong. You know, the wrong fuel pump, the wrong this, the install, you know, not putting enough water, you know, it was just horrible. Mm-hmm. And then everybody started commenting on their experience with APU Center. So, and then I know a gal that just went there, and within the first trip, a radiator hose busted, which mine busted within the first month because they use cheap parts. And the fuel line leaked all over the place, all over the truck, you know. So that became a big issue, and she just spent $2,000 at a Thermo King somewhere else getting it fixed, and she charged them for it. She was able to do it, though. APU Center, do not use those people. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, if you look up Owner Operators Maintenance and Repair and then search APU Center, you're going to find some bad luck there. So, but yeah, I did leave a scathing review. But that's one of the best things about this carrier is that it's under warranty. It's a better system than Thermo King, and it gives more power. And see, here's the thing with Thermo King. See, with the carrier, it's like having a house generator, and it makes its own power, so you don't need an inverter. Thermo King uses an inverter, so when the battery gets down, then the unit kicks on. So with the Thermo King, your batteries are constantly being recharged, So there's like constant draw, then charge, draw, then charge, draw, then charge. Next thing you know, you're going through a set of batteries a year with the Thermo King. And I've had 7 trucks with Thermo King, so kind of an expert at those, a little bit. Are you trucking down to Gats? Yes, I will. You know me, man. Getting to Texas is not a problem. There's loads that come out of Jeff City that go to Wilmer. I can easily grab one of those, make a little bit of money, get there early, and then with the yard being right there, it'll be cool. If anybody else is going to Gats with the bobtail, let me know, and we'll share a parking space. Because I know Jeffrey will have his trailer there. But us orange guys, we can just drop in Dallas. Interesting, my next truck may have a new carry unit on it once the wrinkles are ironed out on the driver's side of the truck. Oh, man. So far, I've only had the carrier since February, and the only issues it's given me, I think, is because of a clogged fuel filter. Fabian says, I had my own authority for a year, and it was very difficult. Now that I'm leased on, I make more money with less headaches. I wish it was easier looking for loads. Did that for a while, but I'm much happier now. Yeah, to each his own. All these travel local guys that they're happy with that they're working the spot market freight, but what they're not saying is how much work it is to call the brokers. I thought Yukon. Okay, Pale Rider, you're bobtailing. I thought Yukon did an excellent video on the tools that he uses to find his loads, and there's definitely a certain, that's the thing. When you get a new owner-operator, say someone like Schneider, you're having to call Landstar, you're having to call brokers and worry about self-dispatch. Self-dispatch isn't as easy as you think it is, Jeffrey says he will drop in Springfield and drive Snorler's truck. Cool, I'll just drive your truck. You can drop your trailer in my street. How's that? I'll post it when I get into it, the difference in the workload. Fabian says I'm right. I'll even record the phone calls and include them. Yeah, well, that's a good idea. And I think Jeffrey's had a couple of requests of people want to see the actual process of how and when you book loads. And I think that would be kind of cool. Think about a reality TV show like, think about, okay, this is what I'm doing. This is how we're doing it. Not just give me numbers. I think that'd be cool. Awesome 4 days. Yep, it will be. I know every year I say I'm going, but this year I've got a little bit more motivation. So, and this year I'm actually doing pretty good, money-wise. I think last year, I'm not sure what happened. I think, I know Pale Riders had a few hiccups trying to get the Gats too. Maybe we'll see Ponzi up there. There's Ponzi was at Gats a couple of years ago, and there's infamous stories about those days. That's what I want to do, but we were so restricted by the contract we signed as what we can or cannot post on social media. I keep my nose clean. I don't even know what their specifics are on social media, Kevin. I know I don't show customers. And I keep the driving videos down to a minimum. I try not to do more than what Ike ever did. Snyder knew about Ike's videos. So as long as I'm not doing more than what he did, like with the driving stuff or showing customers, then I think, it'd be all right. IS orientation is pretty intense. Yeah, it's not as bad as some other places. I think they're worried about, like Swift. They don't even want a camera in your truck. I think that they're worried about a lot of the issues that comes with the videos. Okay, guys, my mom is here to hang out with my kids. So you guys take it easy. Have a good evening. And thanks for watching. I hope it was informative. No more drama. Okay, guys? See you.